gonna keep it low. Now, if you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe.
Hi, it's Dina with Pretty Productive. Welcome back to my channel. Today what I'm going to be doing is a January 2022 budget setup. I'm doing this today because I do need to go to the bank. I was planning to wait until January 3rd to pull my cash out, but quite frankly, I only have 2 envelopes with just a little bit of money in them. And I don't want to start spending the money for my January budget on my card and then have to go back and get cash and figure that all out. So we're going to go ahead and set this up today, and then that'll give me a chance to go to the bank before the bank closes for the holiday. So if you are new to my channel, this may be unfamiliar to you. So this is a sheet that I created back in probably about 2009 when I first started budgeting. Now it's been through many different revisions, but it basically just helps me to lay out my budget. So if you were to do online budgeting like Every Dollar app or Mint or You Need a Budget, this is basically the categories that they have on the budget. You enter your income first, then you enter your fixed expenses. Those are the ones that are the same every single month, like my mortgage, my gym, my internet, and then variable expenses, and those are the ones that fluctuate based on the season, like electricity, natural gas, my HOA, things like that. Then I have my subscriptions. I have 3 that I have. It's always important to note those that are coming out, whether it's quarterly, yearly, or monthly. And then I break it all down. So my income is the top line, and then I add my fixed expenses, my variable expenses, my lifestyle, and then I subtract that from my income, and that gives me my sinking fund. So sinking funds could be in the form of an emergency fund that you're saving for, or for me at this stage of my life, I have a lot of different sinking funds that I save all year for. Things like birthdays, Christmas, vacations, things like that. When I first got started, I did not have sinking funds. I only had an emergency fund. And then as money freed up, as we paid down debt, then I was able to add some ones that were, you know, kind of boring, but we saved up for like our tags for our cars, or we saved up for auto maintenance, like we knew we'd need tires. Then we started a house one, so in case, you know, an appliance went out, things like that. So anything that you would normally have to put on a credit card is what you want to use for your sinking funds. And then what is going to be a little different in this budget is, I know you all told me do not pull from my retirement, but I did pull a little bit out. I am working right now, but this is for a 2-week kind of job. And if I do decide to keep working into the new year, it will be just very part-time. You know, right now my parents kind of are helping to take care of them as a full-time job. My husband does work full-time. We are going to eventually pull money from his paycheck. Right now we're just savings that, and we are living off his retirement from the 25 years in law enforcement. And then because I am 60, there was no penalty for me to start to pull. I know you all were very strong in your opinion not to pull, and I love and respect that. That is probably the best thing. But in speaking with my financial planner, he was like, you've got plenty of money in your retirement. You know, that's one thing that my husband and I did well. Even though we did have a lot of debt, we did always contribute to our 401ks, and we both retired from companies with a great pension. So there was that benefit. We didn't have any lapses in our employment. We never had to pull from it. We never borrowed from it. So we were able to roll that all into investments when we retired. So that's just a little disclaimer, because I know you all are like very concerned about me, and I appreciate that. You have no idea how much I appreciate your feedback and comments. So let's go ahead and get started. I did pull less than what my paycheck was. So all of my numbers are real numbers. The only thing that I do is I merge my husband and my paycheck just for his confidence, because, you know, that is a lot to disclose that on YouTube. So I literally just take our 2 paychecks and I merge them together, and I divide them by 2. So his paycheck and my paycheck come in once a month. So just to let you know that. So our new income is $48.25 and $48.25. The money that I'm making right now, I've been paid for 2 different pay periods, and then I'll have a third one, which is this week. That money, because it's not budgeted money, is going right into savings. And you're going to see what my new philosophy on, not my new philosophy on savings, but what I'm doing this year versus a savings challenge is what I'm doing to build up my savings. And just a little note of why savings is different than sinking funds. Sinking funds is designed to spend. So I may not spend it today, I may spend it in July, or I may spend it in December of next year. But my intent with that sinking fund is that it's money there that I'm going to use. Savings is just that. It's there for a rainy day. It's there as a cushion. We do have our 4-month emergency fund in the bank. In a totally different bank that just sits there and probably is making no money at all, but it's liquid and it's there. So if our air conditioning unit goes out and we have to spend $20,000, or we total a car and we need to replace the car, that money is there for those kind of things. And then the savings that I want to do is to keep it more liquid for an emergency. So for one example, my dad recently was in the hospital, and my mom's rent on her place is steep, and he writes a check every month. I want to set it up on an auto draft, but he doesn't trust that. He doesn't trust electronic banking. So he goes down every month and writes a check, or gives one of us a check to drop off at the place. So when he was recently in the hospital and we didn't know when or if he was going to be able to, come home for Christmas, or it's the end of the month, my intent was to go pay my mom's rent, and then my dad would, of course, pay me back. None of us, while I have visibility to his accounts, I don't have access to his account. So one of us needs to be a signer on his checking and savings account, so that should something happen to him, or when something happens to him, my mom's care is continually taken care of. So, for me to pull that amount of money out of, my budget is probably not going to happen. But if I have money sitting there, then I can easily make that payment. So that's kind of where my thought process was. It was kind of a rude awakening when his health really went down over the last couple of months, that we need to prepare for that. So here we go. I have one daughter that pays me $180, and that's for her phone and her car insurance, and my other daughter pays me $200 for the same thing. Bonus and carryover would be if I was going to take the money that I'm making right now and put it into my budget, which I am not. Okay, so mortgage, so let's add up income. So $48.25 plus $48.25 plus $180 plus $200 is $10,030. So my mortgage is $3,100. My cell phone is $302. So every year or so, my husband and I kind of do a deep dive into some of the bills that we have. We did it with our life insurance. We did it with our auto insurance. We did it with our homeowners insurance. Are we still paying the right amount? Can we get it for less expensive with better coverage? So for an example, when we did this with our homeowners insurance, which is part of our escrow account and paid directly through our mortgage, we were paying about $2,000 a year. And it's a policy that we started back when we were renting, and we just kind of kept changing it from home to home. And we finally took a look at it. I thought, that seems high for the coverage that we're getting. So we did some competitive shopping. We took that bill down to $900 a year with much better coverage, lower deductibles than what we had with the other policies. So I think we just kind of get it in a routine. We just keep making that payment. But sometimes you got to just take a moment and look at it and say, am I wasting money here? So the reason why I talk about that is our cell phone. When I was working, my company paid a big part of this cell phone, and I do get a corporate discount through AT&T. But my husband and I don't use the data, my children do. So we're the ones paying for the data, and they're the ones getting basically paying for their service and their phone. So we're going to do some deep dive in here. We probably will switch carriers. We're probably going to put our kids on their own plan. And so that bill should come down for what's coming out of our pocket. My gym is $52. My internet is $120. Netflix is $15. Life insurance for my husband and I is $106. Auto insurance is $303. HBO Plus is $5. Superstar Car Wash is $15. And Hulu, which normally isn't on mine, my daughter had Hulu. She got rid of it, and I love Hulu, so I will pick that one up, and it's $15. In my variable expenses for electricity, I always budget $250. It will be a lot less. There is a part on my app in Arizona where I can look and see what my estimated charge is, and I'm right about $120. So any difference from the $250 to the $120 goes into my sinking fund for electricity to offset the summer months. My trash bill has come in. It's $98. Natural gas, I'm going to guess $50. That's what it was last January. Pest control is $30 and HOA is $225. So this is the month that my quarterly payment is due. Elements massage is $80. Audible is $16. Planner Spot is a new subscription for me and it's $26. So let's add up our fixed expenses. So $3,100 plus $302 plus $52 plus $120 plus $15 plus $106 plus $303, $5 plus $15 plus $15. And then I do put my subscriptions in as fixed. So $80 plus $16 plus $26 is $4,155. So $4,155. I'm going to bring my income down here, $10,030. Variable expenses is $250 plus $98 plus $50 plus $30 plus $225. So for this month, my variable expenses are $653. So let's go over to lifestyle. So lifestyle is everything that's probably going to be in a cash envelope for me. And then I say that, and then right away, giving I do leave in my bank. I either tithe online or I tithe via a check. I was putting cash in, and then what I was finding was my year-end statement was totally messed up, even though I put my name on the envelope. So I just find it easier at the end of the year just to look at my check register or to look at my Capital One card. Groceries is $600. I don't take it all out in cash, because I am doing HelloFresh 2 times this month. So it's $64 times 2. So $128 will be left in the bank, and then the balance will be taken out in cash. For eating out, it's $200. For clothing, I put in $100. Spending, $200. Household, $100. Entertainment, $50. I actually think I need to... I'm going to take entertainment up. My sister is coming into town this week or this month in January, and I do find I spend more money when she's here. Personal care, $100. Gas for a car, I've been averaging $250. Craft supplies, $100. Miscellaneous, $100. Medicine, $200. And my mom, $100. So again, if you're new here, my mom is in a memory care facility. I have an envelope for her for a couple of different reasons. One, every 2 months she gets a manicure and a pedicure, and that's $67 with tips. And then I usually bring her a treat, like I bring her Sonic, or I take her to lunch, or I bring supplies into her. And I was just kind of grabbing it from different envelopes, so I decided it would make sense just to give her her own envelope. So my lifestyle is $400 plus $600 plus $200 plus $100, $200, $100, $100, $100, $250, $100, $100, $200 plus $100. So 2,550 is lifestyle. Now I always say that fixed expenses are what they are. I can't really adjust those too much other than like adjusting my cell phone plan or taking, you know, a few of the subscription services off. That I can adjust. But lifestyle is where you can kind of go through and look at the money that you're spending and maybe tighten up, like maybe tighten up my spending category, eating out, things like that. So 2,550. So what does that leave me for sinking fund? So I have 4,155 plus 653 plus 2,550. So all of my expenses in my fixed, variable, and lifestyle equals 7,258. My total income is 10,030. So that leaves me 2,672 to go into sinking funds. So what I am changing this year is that I'm taking 10% off the top of our income to go into savings. So again, savings, not sinking funds. So if my income is 4825 plus 4825, so it's 9,650 times 10%. So 900, I'm just going to do 970 just to round it up a little bit. 970 will go into savings before I take anything out for sinking funds. So 2,672 minus 970 leaves me with a total to go into sinking funds of 1,702. So I kind of back into sinking funds versus decide up front what is going to go into sinking funds. When I was doing a savings challenge, I took that out first. So just to know, savings will not come out in cash. So the categories that I leave in the bank is giving, gas, craft supplies, because I normally buy those online. Everything else comes out in cash for my cash envelopes. And then sinking funds. So I kind of did a little bit of a deep dive into what I spent for Christmas. I will tell you, I went way over. I think it was just, I was busy and I just was ordering off Amazon, and then my husband jumped in and he bought stuff for the kids, and then I was like, oh gosh, now I'm way over. So we're not going to do that again next year. This was super stressful for me because I had to take money out of my cushion in my account and savings to pay off my Capital One credit card. And I don't like to do that. So, you know, I had plenty of money in Christmas to cover everything. So that was just my fault for not really keeping my eye on the prize and the budget. So I went ahead and I really looked at my actuals for Christmas and what I spent. So with everything together, gifts, activities, food, everything was $3,400. So that is my goal for 2022 Christmas. I start in January saving for Christmas. I like to have it fully funded by October. So I took the $3,400, I divided it by 10 months, which is having it funded in October, and it's $340 every month for Christmas. So I'm just going to put Christmas. I'm starting with $100. That's all that's left. And I'm adding $340. So where I'm getting my numbers is I went ahead and finalized all my sinking funds at the end of December, even though today's the 30th. So I start with my goal for that account. And I know that sometimes my goals for like birthday, it's going to come in and go out. So I'm not saying that once I get to that number, I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to add to it. It means that if I've taken out money, for an example, car maintenance, my goal is to have $2,000 sitting there. If I took out $108 like I did in the month of November to get an oil change and tags for my truck, then I put that $108 back in December so that I'm back up to $2,000. So I already know that in September my car tags are going to be due. I have a brand new car. They're going to be pricey. I'm going to make sure that money is there so that I'm not stressing out about it in the month of September. So here are all of my funds. So for an example, if you followed along with me in 2021, you know that my Christmas fund had different categories. It had family gifts, it had niece and nephew's kids gifts, it had food for Christmas Day, it had activities, decor, and everything. I've rolled that into one fund until I get to October, then I'll separate it out by category. So until October, it's just one. It's called Christmas Fund, and I'm going to add $340. So see, I have $100 left in there. So this is how I determine what I'm going to fund. So some of my funds are already funded at 100%. Some of them I need to add more money into. So that's how I'm going to divvy up the money that I have for this month. So I'm going to put Christmas first because that is a priority for me, just to make sure every month that same amount goes in. And then my birthday funds. So there's my fund, my daughter's fund, my husband's fund, and then my other daughter and husband. So I have $150 in my fund. Megan has $150. Mike just had a birthday, he has $50. And the cars, which is my daughter and son-in-law, they have $256. So I'm going to add $50 to each one. Actually, I think I wanted to add, yeah, I'm going to add $100 to my daughter and son-in-law because my son-in-law's birthday is in February. And then I have family barbecue. And that really is just 4th of July, Memorial Day, anytime that we get together, we all have Traeger smokers, so we tend to smoke a bunch of meat. And of course, you know, meat is super expensive right now. I currently have, how much in that account? I have $100, and I'm going to add $50. And then my next one is my nieces and nephew's birthday. And these are really their kids. There's 11 kids altogether. And so I currently have in that account, what do I have in that account? $240. I have 2 birthdays in the month of January, so I'll be pulling money out of this account. So I am adding $50 this time. And then I have family birthday, which is my sisters and parents. I currently have, what do I have in that account? I think it's 100. No, I have 150, and I'm adding 50. So the next birthday that I'm going to pull from this is in the month of May. And then arts and crafts. My sisters and I do craft night. Cannot spell crafts today. Crafts. I have 103 in there. My goal is 150. So I'm going to add 50. And then next is beauty, and this is anything cosmetic, skincare related. I keep clearing this one out. I currently have 100. I'm putting in another 100. Dental is always on my list. I have $80 in there. I'm adding another 20. Invisalign, I need to get going on. I currently have 80. I'm adding another 20. Disney, I'm saving for a Disney trip. I currently have 400. I'm adding 100. Glasses, I get new glasses in March. I'm putting $60 a month away. I currently have 240, so I'll add another 60. Tax prep, hate to spend money on that, but it's necessary. And I have $210 in there, and I'm adding another 70. I divided what we spent last year by how many months I had to save for it. So that's where I come up with the $70 or $60 for glasses. And then Liam and Milo are my daughter's dogs. Milo just had a birthday, so I spent money out of this category. Yes, I do get birthday lists for them. I can just imagine what it's going to be like when I have grandchildren. So I'll put the 50 back in that I spent. Lottery, this is a ebb and flow one. My dad likes to go to the casino, so when I win anything on scratchers, I put it in there, and then I usually give it all back to the casino. So I've got my original 60, plus I'm adding 20 to it. I did take money out, though, to buy something that I wanted to buy because I felt like that was better than going to the casino with it. Planner, I have 100 in there. I'm adding another 100. And then rewards, it's kind of an account where I give myself a goal, and then if I make the goal, I take it out of this reward. It could be buying a new outfit. It could be going somewhere, doing something. It could just be, you know, say I want to go to the casino with the money, that's where the money would come from. So that's kind of a goal and reward program. I did explain this one on my sinking fund reconciliation at the end of November. And then subscriptions is now empty. My Amazon subscription is due in January. I've already taken that money to the bank. So I'm going to start over with 20. And then vitamins. This is another category that I just kept pulling from groceries or whatever. So I do take like a whole regimen of vitamins that I find I feel better with. So let's add up where we are. And so the ones that kind of get anything extra is my Etsy shop, technology, and I think that's it. Okay, so let's see where we are. So I have 1,702. I'm going to subtract 340, 50, minus 50, minus 50, minus 100, minus 200, minus 100, minus 40, minus 100, minus 60, minus 70, minus 50, minus 20, minus 100, minus 100, minus 80. So I have 192 left. I'm going to put that all in Etsy. I just bought a new Cricut, new cutting machine. That was pricey, so I want to build that back up. So 192, technology is not going to get funded this month. So let me add this up. It should all add up to 1,702, but stranger things have happened. So 150 plus 300. I'm just grouping them together to make this go faster. 100, 40, 200, 130, 300 plus 192. Okay, $10 off somewhere. I will take it out of, so 182. Okay, so 182 will go into Etsy, everything else. Now the ones that I'm going to leave in my account, I'm not going to pull out in cash, is going to be Christmas. Let's see. Etsy, I leave in the account. Everything else I'll pull out in cash. So I had to do this project before I do my next project, which is cash denomination. So, and I do this off camera because quite frankly, it will just, it's like watching paint dry. It's really hard to watch me figure this out. But I will come back on camera and explain to you. So before I even start to break down my denominations, I look at an envelope I have that is called Back to Bank. And I start with this as far as what cash I'm going to take out so that I take this out first. So this is a card that I have in my shop. It is laminated and it's just the denominations I'm going to take out. So I put in the denominations I already have, and then this is the balance of what I need to pull out of the account, and then the dollar value. So getting this to match sometimes is a little bit of a challenge because quite frankly, I don't know what happens to my math skills when I get on camera. So this is what I have in the envelope to go back to the bank. I've already gone back to the bank a couple times. And so back to bank is money that I spent on my card or my debit card that was in a cash envelope that needed to, this needs to go back into the bank because it's like I spent this twice. Once when I pulled it out of the account and put it in the envelope, and second time when I used my card. So this money goes back in to help pay off my card, or I hold it and it's the first part of the cash stuffing money that I pull out because it is already here in the house. Why put it back in the bank and then just pull it right back out again? So let's see what we have here. What we have here is a messy. Okay, let's just get this together, Dina. Uh, 10, 5, and 1. Okay. I avoid going to the bank as much as possible. I don't know why. It's not that hard, but I just don't like to go. I pull all my cash for one time a month, and then if I have a lot in this envelope, I will take it back to the bank mid-month. And then I go ahead and pay my card then. So back to the bank in $100 bills is 2. In 50s, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In 20s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 110, 2 5s, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So as far as the total dollar, let's see, let me clear my memory first. It's 200, 250, 240, no, yeah, 240, 10, 10, and 8. So 718. Okay, that's 340, 814, 818. Lord. Okay. So I have 818 in cash here. This will begin my cash stuffing for January. I'm going to subtract it for what I'm going to pull out for my cash. So what I usually start with are my cash envelopes. So I'll just kind of give you a few examples and then I'll shut down the camera, come back, show you where I ended up. So the first one I'm going to talk about is groceries. This one, so my budget is $600. I'm leaving $128 in the bank because that's going to cover the HelloFresh. That's going to come off my card. Minus $128 is $472. I'm just going to make that $470. So 470 divided by 4 is 118 a week. So how I'll take that out is 100, a 10, a 5, and 2 ones. So 1, 10, 15, 16, 17. Okay? But I need to do that for 4 weeks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So there's 4 there. 4. And 2 times 4 is 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I just hashtag it and then I add up the total amount of $100 bills I need, total amount of 50s, 20s, 10s, etc. And then that's how I come up with my cash denomination. So I'm going to quickly, I'm going to shut off the camera right now and then I'm going to come back with this completed. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. So this is what I came up with and then how I check my math. So I need 9 $100, 19 50s, 40 20s, 18 10s, 5 5s, and 17 ones, which is really a lot of ones for me. But that's the way it worked out with groceries this time. So I'm gonna bring you in a little bit closer just so you can see that part. So I've just gone through both my sinking funds, my cash envelopes, and just put down the denominations I would need. And I came up with $2,872. So how I check that math is I go back to this sheet, I add up all the amounts that are not going to stay in my account that I'm pulling out cash for. And what always messes me up is I have pest control over here at $30 because quarterly that's due and it's $90. So that $30 always, I forget about it. So once I have determined the 2,872 is what I need to pull out, I have 818 here, so 2,872 minus 818. I actually need to pull out 2,054. So I come over here, I have 9, I need 9 100s, I have 2, so I'm going to pull out 7. For 50s, I need 19, I have 5, I'm going to pull out 14. For 20s, I need 40, I have 17, I'm going to pull out 23. For 10s, I need 18, I have 1, so I'm going to pull out 17. For 5s, I need 5, I have 2, I'm going to pull out 3. For 1s, I need 17, I have 8, I'm going to pull out 9. So just to quickly do the math, so let me clear my memory, that's always what I forget to do. So 7 times 100, 14 times 50, 23 times 20, 17 times 5. No, that's wrong. We're going to start over. That should have been tens. So 7 times 100, not 1,000. 7 times 100. 14 times 50. 23 times 20. 17 times 10. 3 times 5. 9 times 1. 2,054. Okay, so it equals. So once I know what I need, then I bring this over. I have my wet erase. And then this is what I take to the bank. So I need 7 100s. I need 14 50s. I need 23 20s. God, I don't know why I'm having a problem with that today. 3 5s and 9 1s. So let's just do the math to make sure it's right. So 7 times 100, 700. 14 times 50 is 700. 23 times 20 is 460. 17 tens is 170. 3 5s is 15, and 9 1s. So 700 plus 700 plus 460 plus 170 plus 15 plus 9, 2,054. That is right. Okay. Now my next step is to take this to the bank, and then my cash stuffing probably is not going to be until Sunday, which is my next day off. Or I might go ahead and film it tonight when I come home, even though I don't think the lighting will be good. I don't know. I'll work that out because I know I'm going to need money for this weekend because I'm down to very little in my grocery and my spending categories, and that's it. So probably not going to get me through the weekend. But I hope you are doing well. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. Also, I did post a giveaway for both budgeting and planning, 2 separate prizes on my YouTube channel. It's also on the community post. I would love for you to enter. You just need to be publicly subscribed, and in the comments either put #planner or #budget, depending on which giveaway you would like to enter. So I hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for watching and your continued support of my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.
I don't wanna stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep it low. Now, if you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe.